today's video, I will be visiting the George Ranch in Richmond, Texas. Today, they are having their Frontier Days, which will include food trucks and vendors, birds and owls, and classic cars. World War II demonstrations.
Now, as you can see,
and reenactments. In the house of Mammy and AP George. And live music by the M&M Playboys. Yeah, a lot of things to do and see. But first, I need to stop off at my local Buc-ee's to get caffeinated. Welcome to Currently Caffeinating. Today is Saturday, November the 15th, 2025. Earlier this year, I went to the George Ranch and took a tour. There was so much to see there that I actually had to go back another day and finish the tour. But I've never been there for their Frontier Days, so I'm really looking forward to that. So join me if you will. It's good to have you here. Let's get caffeinated. Will you? Alright, I'm right out front the visitor center here at the George Ranch. I purchased my ticket online a couple of nights ago. I just need to go inside and get my wristband. So let's do this. Alright, I got my wristband. This is the lobby of the visitor center and museum. And over here is Mammy and AP George, who the ranch is named after. The George Ranch, established in 1824. Got my brochure. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. When I came here the last time, there was this one horse that came up to the fence, and I guess he wanted me to pet him. I think it was this horse right here. See if he remembers me. Hey, you remember me? Beautiful horse. What you doing? You got a friend there? You're not talking to me? Alright. I'll see how it is. So I got the map and the schedule of events. It looks like at 10 a.m. it's going to be the M&M Playboys performing. So I'm going to check that out first. But yeah, it should be fun. Got some polka music by the M&M Playboys.
Cheia tá
And there's Mammy and AP George's house. The big tree house they have here. And there's Mammy and AP George.
Money in the cattle business. In 1928, they did struck oil on the ranch. They had enough money to move electricity to them because this was out in the country. There was nothing out here at all. It was just ranch land. 1930. You have the wrong. Huh?
I said, I don't know. I was thinking Coolidge.
Roosevelt, yes.
Ah, there we go.
Very
Yeah.
It's not long.
They have a safe in the bathroom.
In the house, each bedroom had its own bathroom attached to. Through here, hello, is the guest bedroom. Here. Stay in this bedroom whenever he'd come to visit. This mantle was a gift to Mamie from her father for her 16th birthday. The matching set of that is in the Davis Mansion, the third house, which hopefully you guys will be able to see. So follow me through here.
So yeah, she said Gene Autry used to come visit and stay here, and he slept in this room. Yeah, they said Gene Autry was good friends of the Georges. So he would have slept in this room. Pretty cool. Pretty neat house.
Mr. Albert George was a avid hunter. He did hunt everything in this room, except for where there are a few exceptions. The main exception is this golden eagle. This golden eagle was found dying trapped in barbed wire on the King Ranch, and they taxidermied it and gave it as a gift to Mr. George. And it's a baby eagle, a teenager eagle. If it was an adult eagle, its wingspan would hit that line. So this golden eagle is much larger than you see here. So adult. Other exceptions are the longhorns. We do not hunt our longhorns. Yeah, you got a longhorn. Oh, did you see one in real life yet? They're on the ranch.
Is that bag made out of an armadillo?
And I was about to say, in this armadillo basket, so the cook would make these armadillo baskets and sell them at the church.
Check out that old phone. This old radio.
That's just that right there.
Oh, look at that.
I don't know if you noticed the phone in the other room. I forgot to point it out. That's a 10-party line. I like to tell teenagers about this. I know y'all are familiar because your parents probably had one. Your parents probably had one. So the 10-party line means that you had to share your phone line with 9 other families. So if you picked up the phone and someone was already talking on it, you had to hang up and wait for the line to be ready for you to be able to talk. So you had to share your phone. So I see cell phones. You would have to share your cell phone with 9 other people. Isn't that weird? So that's what it was when the technology was, how the technology was. But Mr. George did a lot of business, so he actually went up to Houston to the Rice Hotel. And the Rice Hotel, which is still there, was very modern. And so that's why he made his kitchen look like the Rice Hotel with the stainless steel, because he liked the way it looked. And he always would buy modern appliances. So We noticed that this is from 1950, and it's actually electrical, which is weird. You would have a gas stove usually at that time, but this was probably one of the first electric stoves in the 1950s. Refrigerator is from the 1950s, and the dishwasher is actually from the 1940s, which shocks me. I'm like, man, dishwashers in 1940s?
Yeah.
Cistern.
Oh,
Which
wow.
is weird because I don't think you have a lot of those in the South because they're mainly used to keep things cool, is what I was told. So also, this house has a basement.
They use them a lot.
Yes, I know. It has a basement,
Underwater.
and it's had to be pumped out.
Your cheating heart will make you weep. You'll cry and cry and try to sleep, but sleep won't come the whole night through. Your cheating heart will tell on you. Your cheating heart will tell on you.
Classic car alert. Pretty sweet classic cars here. Yeah, some really nice cars. Right, I'm gonna head over to the Prairie House for some butter churning. Yeah, nice day. A little bit warm, but pretty nice. We got the food trucks in full effect. Some mini donuts. Yeah, a lot of vendors over here. Just making my way to the Prairie home. Kind of reminds me of Little House on the Prairie. And this is inside the Prairie home. Take a look around. Yeah, this is what it would have been like back in the day. Living out in the country like this. So the butter churning starts in 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna look around. But I did take this tour earlier this year, so you can go back and check that out. I did 2 vlogs of the George Ranch back then. And I showed all this stuff before. Yeah, very, very neat place. So this house was built in Fulshire?
Yes. But it is very much like the houses that Polly Ryan built and lived in during the 1860s.
Did anyone actually live in this house?
Yes.
Okay.
People did live in this house, yes.
Do you know the year that the last person lived here?
No, sir.
Was it relatives of the Georges?
No.
No.
But they will most likely maybe knew Churchill Fulcher, who was the leader of the leader of Fulcher, Texas.
Okay.
This is the little machine that we would churn butter.
So that's what they used back in the day?
Yep. We did not have grocery stores or markets to get our butter, so we had to make it from scratch. And we would use, there are other versions of this butter churn, but for the Polly Ryans, who were very wealthy, they did use this butter churn. Now, in order to make the butter, we had to get the fat from a dairy cow. And how we did that was when you milk a cow, the milk that you get isn't as smooth or as clean as when you get in the carton. There are other materials in it, and one of those materials is fat. And how you know it's fat is once the milk settles, the fat will rise to the top, creating a very thick layer. Because fat is very thick and very light, very much how a really good example is if you put oil in water and the oil will rise, fat will do the same way, so it will just rise. Once the milk is settled, they'll take that fatty layer and we'll put it in this jar right here, as you can see.
How long did it take to make the butter?
Hours.
Hours? Wow.
Because they needed a lot of it for all the cooking purposes
Oh, okay.
of the house. What's unique about this one compared to what you see like on Little House on the Prairie or other Western movies where you usually see like it's like a wooden little
Yeah.
Obviously still lead, but the wooden stick has a wooden get out of there, fly. A wooden screw like mechanism, and that would help churn the butter a little better and more efficiently. Mm-hmm. I know there's synonyms, but what you do is basically the same thing. Put the lid on, put the wooden stick all the way down so the screw is at the bottom where the cream is, and you turn it like this in an upward motion, up and down motion, with a twist. So you can really get that screw going. Now, usually it would start with medium tempo, get that momentum going, but you have to do it really, really fast because you have to create a reaction in order for cream to become butter. And how you do that is by separating the fat from the buttermilk that's in the fat. And this, again, like I said, would take hours, but after doing that for an hour, they would get a very soft, white, not yellow, substance of butter. And this butter would, unlike the preservatives we get from our butter at the store, this would only last a day unless you preserved it in very cold water. Very much, cold water would basically be the relevant of putting our butter in the refrigerator and not making sure it didn't spoil.
Right. Now,
of course, you had to renew that water every day. So sometimes if there was a drought and that water needed elsewhere, then unfortunately the butter would spoil. But it was used not only to butter bread, but it was also used to grease pans, to cook their meat and other foods. And sometimes, if you needed a little extra money in cash, you could trade it and sell it to your friends or your neighbors as a way to get more money if you were, falling on hard times or you just needed extra cash. You could do it. Now, for the Polly Ryan house, and a lot of people have asked me this, the servants would most likely be churning the butter. Not like the Ryans wouldn't be actually churning the butter, it would be the servants. But if you were a regular rancher out here and you didn't have servants, it would be a family thing. So the father, mom, and children, once they learned the motion, they would all contribute to making the butter because that's how they cooked their food and made their food taste good.
So it would take hours to do that and it only lasts about a day or so?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. If you didn't preserve it well, it would just spoil. You actually can make this butter at home. All you have to do is get cream and put it in a jar and shake it for 10 to 30 minutes, depending on how hard you shake and how fast you do it. And you can have very fluffy white butter.
Wow.
So, I actually honestly would probably prefer doing that than going to the store and paying $5 for a stick of butter, like
Right.
4 sticks of butter.
Right.
And it's definitely most likely more healthy for you in the long
Right.
run too. So yeah, that's how they would churn butter in the 1816s. Would you like to churn the butter, sir?
Sure. So you gotta like twist it.
Yep. Yeah, you can see the already starting to kind of thicken a bit
Oh yeah.
on the wooden stick.
Got some clothes over here hanging to dry. The old washboard. Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. So that's how they washed clothes back in the day?
Yeah, so you basically, you take your piece of clothing and you bring it over there to that bin. Basically what's happening in that bin is you're scrubbing the dirt out of the clothes. Because, like this t-shirt here, one of the cowboys wore when they were getting cows and stuff like that. So this one smells like horses and stuff. You're applying soap and stuff like that. In the next bin, you're basically just rinsing the clothes off.
Okay.
You're going to take the paddle. That's actually the kind of paddle that they would use. When they say in the old movies, like, watch out, you're going to get the paddle, this is the kind of paddle we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
And you're basically rinsing. You're pushing the clothes, you're bringing them out of the water, and you're shoving them back in the water to get all the soap off. And it finally is that bin that we were just at. That one, you're squeezing all the water out of it by turning the bucket. And once you get, the thicker that it is, the more water you get out. In the bucket, you can see some of the water squeezed out of the clothes. And then you just hang it up here on the clothesline and it dries. And then you wear it and you do it all again.
Okay. So it starts there?
Yeah, it starts over here.
Okay.
Here's into its house. So you start by taking whatever piece of thing you're washing, and you shove it in the water. Make sure it's completely wet because that's how it most easily gets soaked. Now this is a scrub board, okay? The job of this is to get all the dirt and stains off the clothes. So you're gonna put it on your scrub board, and you're gonna take your soap, and you're gonna go against the grain of the scrub board. This is so that it scrubs better. Once you get soap on it, you're gonna push down, and you go back and forth. If, let's say, you spilled or you jumped in mud puddles, this is what's gonna get all the mud off. Now once you've scrubbed efficiently, even though this is a soapy water, you're gonna rinse it off. And you're gonna scrub it when there's no soap on it. Like that. Now once you've done that, you're gonna squeeze as much water out of it as you can so that that water doesn't get as soapy as it is right now, but it needs to be soft. And then you're gonna take this, you're gonna push it down, and then lift it up, and push it like that. And then just go in circles.
So what is that doing to it?
This is getting all the soap off, because if you leave soap on your towel, and then when the towel dries, and the soap dries with it, it gets very crusty,
Okay.
and then it's not as soft. Like if you go through and you just touch all of these, you can feel which ones still have soap in it. Like this one's good, this one is good. I think that one still has soap in it though.
Okay.
I feel it. It feels a little bit slimy, I think.
Yeah.
When it's wet, and then when it's dry, it feels really crusty. Now here you're gonna get a lot of the water out. Okay, now this one, This is the one, depending on what piece of material or clothes I'm using, depends on how I fold it. But normally for this one, I just make it thin up there and thick back here. You're gonna put it in this side, and it squeezes out the other side, just like that. You can fold it again, and then you can see the water that was being squeezed out of it. Sometimes it's like that. Yeah. And then that's the process. And then obviously then you're gonna squeeze it out the rest of the way, open it up, and then put it on here. And you just grab a pin. And you're done.
Cool.
Until it dries. Once it dries, you're gonna just take the pin off and fold it up, and it's all done.
All right, 11:30. They have cannon drills at the Dog Trot Cabin. Let's go check that out. All right, at the Dog Trot Cabin. Hello.
Hello, welcome to the cabin.
Hello. Hey, how you doing?
All right, and yourself?
Good, thank you. We got a fire burning.
This is the winter kitchen, okay? We
Okay.
normally don't cook in here during the summer months
Okay.
because it's so hot.
Yeah.
Now, if you look outside, over there where the tables are,
Yes.
that would be that's what's called the summer kitchen, and that's what we would be using now. But right now, the area is under burn ban, so
Okay.
we can't have any open fires outside. That's why none of the campsites have fires.
Okay.
Okay, and that's why you don't see any kind of battles between the men folk, because if a spark hits the grass, we're gonna go.
I got you.
So basically, during the summer months, we cook outside, and you can see the big bar across. There's two pits that we use. Okay, but we were showing how to make cornbread in the Dutch ovens, and the difference with the Dutch ovens. You know what the difference is with a Dutch oven?
No.
I'll show you.
Okay.
Okay? I won't keep you in here too long because I know it's hot. All right. You know what a cast iron pot is, right?
Yes.
Okay. The difference is twofold. One, it has feet.
Okay.
Okay? Two, you notice how you see most lids, they're like this. This one has a rim. That's because when I get the cornbread in here, okay, I will put it over there. I will scoop out some of the coals.
Okay.
Then I will put this on top, and then I'll put coals on top. Because like when you bake it in an oven, if you're making bread or whatever, you have heat all the way around.
Right.
If I were to hang it, it would cook only this way. So you
Okay.
would probably burn the bottom, and the top wouldn't cook as well. That's
Right.
why this is particularly called a Dutch oven.
Okay. Okay.
And
Makes
yeah, this
sense.
pot and I don't get along, so it's
does it?
demonstration purposes, because every time I go to pick it up, it does that.
I see.
And it dumped ashes on my cornbread.
Oh, wow.
Because I have to use a hook to open this up. And it went, I was so mad. We made 6 perfect cornbreads yesterday. The 7th one, the coals fell in the thing.
Oh,
I was
man.
like, we're going for a record here. So,
Cool.
but this is our winter kitchen.
So how do you make it? I am cutting it like do you
Right?
have cats or dogs? If you have cats or dogs, this is like combing their hair. So it's smoothing it out and making sure it's nice and fluffy. You can pass that around. This is and then this is kind of what I made. It has less thoughts. Yeah, that's true.
they would all be sitting around. And,
So how long you have to do it to make it smoother?
It depends. If you're doing big chunks of cotton, then it'll take a while. But first you have to go out and pick it, then you have to remove the seeds. And when removing the seeds, you need every piece of cotton fiber you can get. So you have to make sure the seeds have no cotton on it, because cotton is muddy. So a lot of times you could sell like just cotton, you could sell string, or you could sell clothes. The further you get into the process, the more expensive it is. So a lot of people just sold clothes. But you would wake up when the sun comes up, and you would not stop until the sun goes down.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the Old West.
Allows you to stack coals on top of it. When you have a heat source from the top and a heat source from the bottom, you can bake what's inside. We use these all the time to make biscuits and pies and cobblers and such while
My
camping.
grandmother had one. I just gave away all of her stuff because I'm 81 and I don't need it. And young people, my son, they don't want it.
Oh, well, that's a
They
shame.
want the easy stuff, yeah.
Oh.
But this is the best cooking there is. Yeah, cast iron.
No plastics in the 1800s. Everything had to be made of more natural materials.
Isn't that amazing?
Why you gotta go setting stuff down? I don't know. Come on. You know better. Yeah.
One of the guys told me the cannon drill is supposed to be over here, so I'm gonna go check that out.
Red load. That's the charge.
We're doing it live this time, guys. Y'all come on down. We're about to fire this cannon. You don't want to be down there. Load.
Present.
Ready.
Brick and prime.
Prime, sir. Ready. Prepare to fire.
Prepare to fire. Battery 1 on my command. Fire. Battery 2 on my command. Fire.
Fire.
Bring cover.
Service.
All right, that was loud.
Burn.
Head over and check out the blacksmith. You definitely get your steps in walking around here. You can take a tram and they'll take you around, but I just choose to walk. But I was thinking it'd be kind of cool if they had a like a 5K or something where you can run through here. Right over there is the Victorian Mansion, and the blacksmith is just on the other side of it. They got a little cemetery over here. What does this say? The Henry and Nancy Stiles Jones Memorial Cemetery. Got William, Joseph, Infant Ryan, Martin, Varney Ryan, Mary Ellen Ryan, William Henry Ryan, and Nancy Marcia Ryan. And they also have carriage rides. Well, take me a little carriage ride.
But
He is ready.
he's ready. He's like a little blood piercing. I won't.
See a full off.
Yeah, I saw. They know I'm driving now.
Most of them do that. What?
The buckets.
Bucket?
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. And the bell maybe. Read like a bell?
Yeah, they do. That's on that chain.
Yeah.
You got it. Oh, no, I hear the bell off the gym. Yeah.
Yeah, no deal.
Yeah. Do they let you walk through the grave, the cemetery? I mean, yeah, it's a cemetery. It's not a graveyard.
No, they had it closed.
I wanted to go to the house, but we didn't make it in time for the first order for a tour. She was already doing her tour when she was.
Oh, I got you.
So I guess we'll just have to. I may or may not get to see her. I may have to wait and just come as a spectator. I do know that they moved that house.
Oh, they did? Oh, okay. Where was it originally?
I think it was either, well, I'm not sure if it was either Richmond or Roseburg, maybe somewhere down there.
Oh, okay.
I just don't know.
Thanks. That
I
was my
appreciate
second
it.
time to drive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you did a good job.
This is actually still her first time to drive.
Yeah, that was just the second loop I did.
This is her second trip.
Oh, okay.
Bazar, have fun. What do you got? Hey, boys.
Well, that was fun. Now I'm going to go see the blacksmith.
They're on hammerheads. They're on tongs. Even they're on anvils. So where was I? Yeah. So their own tools as well as things like knives and axe heads, which are useful for hunting, cutting up lumber, making kitchen utensils. So basically, anything and everything you might need to be able to eat and prepare a meal, be it over a campfire or an actual kitchen proper. They would also make nails, and while nails can be used in a ton of different things, one of the most important things you probably want to use them in is building a structure, and especially building a house so you can have a roof over your head. Now, a master nailsmith, back in the day, could make about 100 nails in less than 2 hours. So that's 1 or 2 nails being made every single minute. It's very fast, but it's also very difficult to do. Then one last important thing, the blacksmiths make during the live targeting runs, specifically for ranchers, are branding irons. Now, it's this symbol, what the George Ranch used for most of its operational history. Usually these are going to have very simple designs because the more complex the design is, the more expensive it can be to make, and thus the more expensive it is to afford. So they're going to stay relatively simple. These are used on horses and cattle, very rarely on other animals. So because of this, these are created because when you have all these branches in a certain area, like out here for example, where all these branches are relatively close to each other, what ends up happening is that they tend to have all their cattle in the exact same field or pasture as each other. Thus they all graze with each other. And so they need to be able to tell who owns what. So they brand them more near their hind end by heating this end up in a fire, let's say at the forge or campfire. And then we don't do this kind of branding anymore. So we actually do tagging over the ears of any of the animals, like the cattle that we have out here nowadays. Now the main tool of the blacksmith itself is actually the forge right here. Now, as you can see here, one of my colleagues is doing, correct, you are making an ESSA. Yes, so an ESSA, we use that for hanging up a lot of different things here at the blacksmith shop, as well as all around the ranch. And we use the forge to actually heat up the metal so that then we can hit it with a hammer and shape it on things like the anvil, the vice grip, or the Swedish block, all sorts of things.
Already did a tour of the Victorian mansion the last time I was here. Like I said, if you want to go back and watch that vlog or vlogs, I had to make 2 vlogs because there's so much to see here. How's it going? Next, I'm going to check out the Birds of the World show, which is way over here.
To let people know that no, vultures are vultures, and this is a buzzard. As a matter of fact, I have another buzzard. Wow, gosh, it's a good thing. It's a good thing I wasn't any closer. I forgot to warn you, SeaWorld has its splash zone, we have ours too. Hey, you know what? I'm sorry, you know what? There's a big lesson in life there. If it eats, it poops. So, buzzards, yes, so this is a buzzard. A lot of people ask us about how we tame our birds. Would you like to know how we tame our birds? Yes? Would you like to know how we tame our birds? We don't. They will never be tamed. They are very instinctual birds. Even if they're hatched in captivity, their instincts are fully intact. They are little killing machines. The next bird also is a buzzard as well. And again, you know, a hawk. This one is an African buzzard. And we're going to bring him out. Come on, buddy. Come on out, say hi to everybody. This one is in training as well. But this one is much younger. This one is 4.5 months old. He is known as an African auger buzzard, A-U-G-U-R, auger buzzard. He looks very much like one of our native species we have here. What does he look like, do you think? Nope. He's a hawk, so he looks like another hawk. He looks like very much like our red-tailed hawks. Let's turn around, buddy. Hey, wait, the face this way on the glove. All right. So he looks very much like our red-tailed hawks. As a matter of fact, he would be the equivalent, the African equivalent of a red-tailed hawk. Turned him over to me. I got him home, let him out of his crate. He stepped right up on my glove, just very nicely, and I reached over and I grabbed his beak, I grabbed his head, I grabbed the back of his wings, I touched his feet, I touched his legs, and no biting, no attempt to harm me. And I was like, wow, they've really prepped him well for transfer to me. It's going to make my training so much easier. And I called them up and I said, you guys have done a wonderful job. I'd like to honor him with a Comanche name. So I said something like Sky Warrior or Sky Friend or something like that. So they directly translated Tomovar Hikes, which is his Comanche name, and that means Sky Friend. So he has 2 names. He's got Augie and he's got Tomovar Hikes. And again, we like to honor the Comanche people for taking the effort in getting him so well trained to start off. So we're going to attach him to this string, release him from my glove. He's going to come up here. Hey, come on up. He is a baby. He's distracted by everything. Little kids running across fields, dragonflies, butterflies, people pulling wagons, pushing carts, dogs, walking dogs. He's distracted by it all because he's a baby. He's new. The world is new to him, and he's got to get used to finding out what is a threat. And I'm going to turn my mic up. My voice is coming from 2 locations, me and the speaker. So I want to make him focus on me. So just one moment. Augie, something's distracting. Come on, buddy. Come on, bud. So I look for him to turn around. That's it. He's prepping. Come on, buddy. Augie, I don't know what you see over there. You're interested in it. You see that bobbing of his head? He's curious about whatever he's looking at. Augie, Augie, come on, buddy. Hey, 30-minute demonstration, bird. Augie. Come here, buddy. Yeah, seriously. What are you looking at? Hey, what are you looking at? Hey, look at this. Come on. Come on, buddy. Hup. Look, food. Food with your name on it. Come on, buddy. Food's got to be more important. Come on. All right, we'll make a short hop. Come on. There you go. Now let's take you back down to that other end and fall you back to the perch. Good boy.
Up.
Yeah. Augie, come on, bud. Hey. Augie. Look, buddy, you gotta turn around. Turn around. That's what I should have probably had you do, is turn him around. Come on, bud. Hey, look. More food. There you go. All right, everybody. Augie, we're gonna send him back. Yep, everybody say goodbye, Augie. He is a beautiful bird. Unfortunately, he's gonna lose that nice slate gray eyes. They're gonna turn brown as he matures. Well, I have a very special owl. We raised her from 14 days old. We have a breeding pair, and her name is Cyrene. Oh, she's Ari. She hears me. Anytime, actually, they hear us on microphone, they know that their turn to fly is coming up. I want everybody to meet my baby, my little baby. Well, you used to be my little baby owl, but she's my little owl. Her name is Cyrene. Everybody meet Cyrene. So Cyrene here is a Eurasian eagle owl. By weight, this owl is one of the largest owl species on planet Earth. What I'm going to ask everybody first to, I'm going to call her down here, and I want everybody to listen as she's flapping her wings. Tell me what you hear. Woo! Woo! Come on. Woo! 30-minute presentation, just like it's all been. What did you hear while she was flapping her wings? Nothing. Owls have the capability of almost perfectly silent flight. Their feathers are very soft. If you've ever heard pigeons or doves take off, their feathers are very stiff. There's a lot of friction, making that squeaky noise as they rub together. Owl feathers are so soft they don't have that friction. They don't make that noise. So they are one of the perfect predators because they can sneak up on their prey without ever being heard. They are fixed in their sockets. They are somewhat oblong front to back, and there's no muscle structure able to move them back and forth. So that oblong structure of their eyes allows them to have a greater depth of field. This owl could see a mouse from a football field away. And you guys think you could see a mouse from a football field away? Even if you could, it wouldn't quite be the way that she does it, because this owl could see a mouse from a football field away just using the light from the stars above.
All right, now I'm going to check out the World War II demonstrations.
And then pause. Now, those of you who play video games, those of you who watch movies, are familiar with a famous sound that comes from this rifle. It's a pinging sound. And it's the sound of the end block clip being ejected from the rifle. It's a fun sound, a lot of people like it, so make sure you have your cameras ready, pay attention. And it's going to be on the last round, so he's going to fire 4 more rounds, and on the last round you're going to hear a ping, and that is the end block leaving the rifle. When ready, demonstrator, go ahead. Now there was a story that went around with that particular sound, that the Germans would listen for the sound of that ping and know that the Americans were out of ammo. They would then attack the position while the Americans were reloading. There's mixed debate on if that's true or not. Some say that in the chaos of war, that just didn't make sense because not everyone was done shooting at the same time.
Although the M1 Garand was the primary weapon of the United States Army, the M1 carbine was issued primarily to rear troops, guys that worked cannon crews, medical corps, military police, guys that didn't need to be on the front line, but yet needed a service weapon that was much more combat effective than just a pistol. Squad leaders, officers, men of that nature would receive the M1 carbine. It was produced by thousands, if not millions, and saw continued use even after the Second World War. But once again, just like the M1 Garand, it was a semi-automatic carbine, semi-automatic weapon, but it fed from a 15-round magazine, detachable box magazine, instead of an in-block clip. And I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the loading and the firing right now.
So this is the magazine here. It's a 15-round capacity.
Now, what you guys saw there was something called a weapons malfunction. It tends to happen anytime there is an interruption in the cadence for the bolt cycling the fired round. That interruption can be due to fouling. It could be due to an obstructed piece of dirt or mud getting in there and obstructing the pathway of the bolt. Sometimes the rounds themselves misfeed. It's a very realistic situation that many soldiers were in combat. You can imagine jumping out from behind a sandbag to attack an enemy and your gun suddenly malfunctions. It's a very scary position to be in, but very common. However, the United States was able to recognize the military effectiveness of such a weapon, and they made a military version of it. Instead of using a drum magazine, this used a 30-round stick magazine, and it also utilized a side charging lever. So the model 1928 Thompson that was used in most gangster films had a cocking lever on the top of the gun, but the demonstrator would still point at the side loading lever on his military version. The M28 gangster version also had more sophisticated sights, whereas this one had a very simple stamped aperture sight. Demonstrator, are you ready to show the public this weapon? Go ahead and make ready and let me know when you're ready to fire. You may fire. Once again, what you're seeing here, folks, is an example of malfunction. And as I mentioned earlier, you can imagine jumping out on the enemy and your gun just goes click. Weapons have come a long way since World War II, and a lot of these weapons are old and show their age and will malfunction on occasion. It just comes with the territory. A clip is what the first two reenactors used on those bolt-action rifles. So this is a magazine, 7-round magazine-fed service pistol. This pistol had a very long service history, coming into adoption in 1911 and going into, believe it or not, Afghanistan and Iraq as recently as 2011 and maybe even to this day. It's a very popular weapon. It's proven its worth in many combat situations. Demonstrator, are you ready to show this to the public? Sir. Go ahead and make ready. You may fire when ready. On the last round, the bolt will lock to the rear. When he inserts a new fresh magazine, he can close the bolt, and the weapon would be ready to fire again. This is the model 1897 trench shotgun. First introduced, as you can guess, the 1897. This weapon continued in service with the Marine Corps pretty much all through World War II, although it did fade from Army service pretty early on in the war, but it was around. This is a devastating weapon. The Germans, from what I understand, even protested its use during the First World War. What you're going to see here is he's going to load around, and anything that you thought was loud before is going to just absolutely have nothing against this. This is going to be an extremely loud shotgun blast, so I do encourage everyone here to cover their ears. If you think you're tough, don't test it. Just go ahead and cover your ears. This is a very, very loud and impressive weapon. You're going to immediately see why the Germans were so upset when the Americans brought something like this onto the battlefield. Demonstrator, are you ready?
Yeah, let me load.
Go ahead and load. One more time, guys, just a warning. This is going to be extremely loud. This is not like the other firearms, and you will see why the Germans formally protested the use of this rifle, or this shotgun, I should say. How many rounds will you be shooting for us, demonstrator?
6.
You'll be shooting 6 rounds, so keep your ears covered.
Load it.
You may fire when ready. So as you can see, that is a devastating weapon. If you were in a trench and an American soldier jumped down into your trench with that and pointed at you, you'd be having a very bad day. Can you just walk those along the rope? Our demonstrator is going to walk these along the rope line so you guys get a close look. The yellow hand grenade is how all hand grenades were issued during World War II. However, yellow meant explosive, and it sticks out, right? If you have a yellow hand grenade on your green uniform, it sticks out. The American soldiers didn't like that very much, so it wasn't long before the War Department started issuing them painted green with just a yellow stripe at the top. So what you have there is an example of both kind, as you would have seen it early in the war and after the war. Now our demonstrator will now throw a hand grenade. The reason I didn't want him to hold that one up is it will go boom. The ones that our demonstrator showed you are just models. Now, demonstrator, if you wouldn't mind just kind of stepping over here to the side. Perfect. And if you could throw it straight that way, past the Jeep. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a hand grenade. This is the Mark II hand grenade. It was the primary hand grenade for U.S. servicemen during World War II. Demonstrator, are you ready? Ready. Let me know when you've pulled the pin. When you are ready, throw. You got a backup? Sorry about that, folks. We're going to pull out a backup here. It's always fun when grenades don't go off because someone has to go pick it up. All right, hold on. Grenade is pulled. Stand by. All right, throw when ready. Perfect, perfect. How long do you guys think it took for that thing to blow up after he threw it? Not very long, right? When you pull that pin, it needs to be out of your hands as soon as possible. That thing was designed to be thrown, and if you kept it for too long, it was a bad day for you too. However, we got a new attachment that goes on the end of the barrel. Demonstrator, if you will please attach the grenade launcher to the end of that barrel. What our soldier is doing here is attaching a grenade launcher. It attaches to the bayonet clip on the front of that barrel. And what he has here is a dummy hand grenade. He will mount the hand grenade onto the end of the barrel. He will take a kneeling position after loading one blank round. The reason it's blank is you don't want to send a live bullet into the back of a grenade. It's not good. So any grenadier during World War II would have been issued a handful of blanks, specifically for launching hand grenades. So he would eject all live ammunition from his gun. He would insert one blank round of ammunition, load the hand grenade, and fire the weapon. Let me know when you're ready, demonstrator. Ready. You may fire when ready. Now, as you can see, that went pretty far, right? There's baseball players that can throw further than that, but the average soldier threw it about as far as the previous demonstrator did. So if you wanted to get a hand grenade further than that, the grenade launcher was your answer. Thank you, demonstrator.
Well, all right, that's going to do it for my video for today. As always, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Be safe, be kind, and stay caffeinated.
Your cheese.